Hi world, this is Tina from TinaHills.com, and today I'm speaking about Venus through the 12 astrological signs. If you have your Venus in Virgo, then this is your video. And this video is close to me, very close to me, because this is my placement of Venus. My natal Venus is in Virgo. And before I say anything, I am going to tell you that Venus is in her fall in Virgo. So, this is the most problematic placement for Venus in all of the 12 signs. This means love comes to us slowly and doesn't come to us easily. But if we learn to, if we learn the lessons and grow our heart and not give in to judgment, then the love we find is going to be very special. Okay, now Venus, what does Venus stand for? Venus is our pleasure principle. It's the planet of love. It's a great benefit. That means it gives us boons. It's not a malefic like Saturn or Mars. Mars is a quintessential male archetype. Venus is a quintessential female archetype. And Venus is soft and sensual, and in our natal chart, it tells us what kind of a love story we will create. Okay, now Venus is definitely what we are attracted to. You know, when you walk across a room and your eyes meet that stranger's eyes, and then time stops and everything stands still, kind of in the Matrix way, and your heart skips a beat. And if he comes across and asks you something, you have no words because you're completely tongue tied and you don't know what to say. You feel stupid and you have butterflies in your stomach. What do you think that means? That is Venus. That's the power of Venus working through you. You're magnetically attracted to this person because your Venus sign is singing to his harmonic resonance. Okay, it's kind of harmonic. His Venus and your Venus. So his Mars and your Venus. Okay, and so Venus is also about how we dress and how we decorate our home. And in a woman's chart, it speaks of what kind of a lover she is. And in a man's chart, it speaks of what kind of a lover he is attracted to. Again, not the one he will marry, because that's your moon sign, but your Venus sign will tell you what kind of a woman you're really attracted to. So, having said all that, Virgo, Venus is in her fall in Virgo. It's a very problematic, difficult position, and Venus in Virgos can be cold, can be withdrawn, can be very harsh, acrid, judgmental, and can be, but they can also be very uh, truthful, very honest, very pragmatic, very industrious. So this is the Virgo energy. Okay, if you understand, Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac ruled by Mercury, and it's a sign of service. Okay, it's a sign of industry. How do we feel industrious? How do we feel productive? So Venus in Virgo definitely wants a love that is functional. It's not something that is over the top like Venus in Leo with huge amounts of public displays of affection. Venus in Virgo does not like public displays of affection. It's demure, it's introverted, it's it's soft, it's very practical. Okay, they won't lose their hearts every 5 minutes. They won't fall in love with new people all the time. In fact, Venus and Virgo people are known to stay celibate for long periods in between partners. They don't have to go out, they don't have to meet someone. They'd rather meet the right person than meet just anyone. Okay, this is this is huge. It's a huge part of Venus in Virgo, and they don't open up sexually. Also, they are very slow to open up, but if they open up, they can unleash that Vestal Virgin archetype of Virgo. Vestal Virgins were autonomous, females who were sexually autonomous, and they answered to no men. There's a huge wild energy about Virgo that we just don't always sense, because Virgo likes to be so productive and so functional and so industrious that they don't ever let go, and so controlled. Everything about Venus and Virgo is about control. Okay, but this is where the fall of Venus is, because how can you control your pleasure principle? How can you control the beatings of your heart? If your heart is going to beat, your heart will feel these emotions. So you can't really buy huge expensive gifts or take them out dancing and make a big show or display I love you in some sort of announcement for everybody to see. They're not big on that. They like you to give them thoughtful gifts, like gifts that mean something to them, gifts that actually signify something important to them. So they are very practical about the way they treat you. Also, they like to do little things to make you happy, little things to uh, keep the relation, the spark alive. Okay, and they're very logical. Okay, Virgos can be they are very analytical and very logical. So if they are connected to you, and they feel you need something, they'll go out of their way to do it. And they can switch from being dominant to submissive. Although they like to keep, they're very introverted. So the energy essentially is not, Venus does not find this outgoing side of her in Virgo. It's a very subdued persona that comes through. Even in the way they dress, it's going to be very practical. Okay, colors will be practical. They will never uh, dress to attract attention. They'll always try to downplay their looks, Venus and Virgo, because they don't want to attract undue attention. But of course, a lot of things depend on it. It's not just Venus and Virgo. You have to check your ascendant Lord. You have to check your moon. You have many things you have to check to truly understand why you dress a particular way or why you speak a particular way. Okay, it's a combination of all your planets. All your whole natal chart actually signifies that. But Venus gives a good idea on how someone will dress. Okay, functionality, even their houses, minimalistic, easy to clean, because they will keep it spotless, and they will do whatever it takes to keep, they're high on hygiene, personal hygiene, and the hygiene, and the way they keep their home very neat, very clean. They'll be organized. If you've seen those YouTube videos on how to organize your home, I think it was made by a Venus in Virgo person with the moon in Virgo. Virgo ascendant, very strong. Virgos are also very good with their fingers and their hands. So massaging is a very good massaging, body work, any kind of energy work. But Virgo is also the sign of the healer. Many doctors, many surgeons are Virgos. So they love to give massages, and if they can give massages and they get lost in that kinetic expression, in the kinetic movement, and they can express their sexuality, then they can be really, they have the potential to be really sexual and sensual and earthy. Okay, I already told you about the Vestal Virgin, so that's a huge part of the Virgo energy that Venus uh, cannot always express. Okay, very careful with money. You don't like to do any kind of silliness or be a gambler. You are very careful with your money. Probably, like to say, you may not, of course, not every Venus in Virgo will, but you might want to save and very generous with your friends, Venus and Virgo, and with your lover. You definitely want to do little things for him, and really touch his heart. And if he doesn't appreciate that, that's sort of a deal breaker for you. You want him to understand, him or her to truly understand that. all these little things you do, they actually add up to a lot. And it's not always possible for everyone to see that, because you're doing so many little things that, it just skips past people. So sometimes it's definitely worthwhile to have healthy communication with your loved ones. With Venus in Virgo, they say the heart is very cold to Venus in Virgo. So it's very worthwhile to open that heart chakra, work on that, hold your hands over your heart and just close your eyes and feel your heart beating. Okay? If you can do that, this is one of the best things you can do for Venus and Virgo placement. If you're feeling very judgmental or angry, or you just want to nag, then I think that's a very powerful thing to do. Just feel your own heartbeat and connect to yourself. Because as I've said again and again, I'm repeating, Venus is in her fall in Virgo. That doesn't mean you won't find love. It means love's not going to be easy. It's going to be infused with its own dramatic blend of trauma that comes with it, and you've got to grow with it. You've got to learn from it, and that's your karma of your Venus in Virgo. How you understand um, the subdued energy of the sign. Okay, so that was a bit about Venus in Virgo. You know the drill. Thumbs up, comment, share. Check out my website www.tinaisa